Welcome to the Beyond Ordinary Woman podcast. Every 2 weeks, we'll post a podcast version of one of our free training videos, but you can access them now at beyondordinarywomen.org. This episode or series includes downloadable information on our website, beyondordinarywomen.org. Go to Resources on the main menu and click on podcast/video extras. Enjoy the podcast.
I'm Kelley Mathews, and we're back with Sharifa Stevens. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to our video series on leading through racial reconciliation. So on this series, on this video, we're going to talk about how to be a bridge builder. So more practical steps to pulling us together, like it's a big social issue. We hear it on the news. We hear all these things going on out there, and we feel helpless. What can I do in my own little world to fix all of them? Well, we can't, right?
Right.
But there's got to be a way to move out of my little world into yours or into my neighbor's, and to move towards a Christ-like sense of unity with another. So let's talk some practical steps. What have you found to be effective? Maybe, in your own relationships.
Right. Well, it's it's hard for me to talk in clinical terms about this because I literally have skin in the game. But I know that in my own relationships and my courtship with my husband, these issues came up.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So
wait, it'll explain to everyone. Maybe they haven't.
My husband is white. So, not only is he white, but I was like the first Black person that he had a friendship with. So my short answer for how we respond is to remember that we're family. And when we remember that we're family, we remember that we're in relationship with each other. Mm-hmm. Reconciliation is this beautiful movement of both sides towards each other. It's not the movement of like one side toward another, right? Like, come and meet me where I am. It's this beautiful movement towards each other. And I think that I can list resources and there are plenty. Like, there's the best thing you can do is see if you have a Be the Bridge group or another Christian-based racial reconciliation group to join.
Did they have a website? Is that bethebridge.org.com, something like that?
It's Be a Bridge Builder.
Okay.
But I don't know, so check our resource sheet.
Yes, we are going to have a list of all these resources for you.
You could also find Be the Bridge on Facebook. Okay. And so that's a Facebook group that you can to join.
What do they do?
So this Be the Bridge is this intentional reconciliation via small group.
Okay.
So they have a curriculum, they have a discussion guide.
Okay.
And so for each small group meeting, they go through one of the units in this discussion guide that talk about things like family history, works of fiction and nonfiction that highlight different aspects of American history and culture, where God fits in with the trajectory of reconciliation as a whole and racial reconciliation specifically. And it's a really good way for people who want to talk but don't know how to start to start.
Okay.
Because the curriculum is already there. One of the best ways, I think, one of the best resources that we have as believers is other believers.
All right, explain.
So one thing that benefits us all, not just white people, all people, is to have relationships with other people. I think that when we have relationships with other people, it's harder to pigeonhole them, to stereotype them. It's harder for them to do the same for us.
Right.
And so I know with my husband, I was the first Black person he had a friendship with, and he married me. But that relationship that we developed was a hard-won relationship, in that he and I both had to work through what our differences were, whether those differences were scary or whether they were just cultural differences. And in the course of that relationship, the differences became normalized. Like these differences are not sin, right?
Right. So whether it's dating or not, or just friends, or
Right.
getting to know someone of a different race,
Right, I am
that's
not
kind
advocating
of
dating as let's be, thank you.
But all relationships, we're going to be enriched by people from a different culture, different race, different country, whatever.
Yes.
So being open to something different is key.
Right, and by the same token, you said we'll be enriched, so we will be impoverished.
If we don't.
Right.
Yes.
This is actually really self-interested.
Well, I would say it's church health or personal health
Exactly.
and societal health overall. But the key is to start small, to start in your circle.
Yes.
So as a parent, helping your children, encouraging them to have friends of, anyone. I have to tell you, my kids, we had this one African-American child across the street, and we've been there for 10 years, and so is he. So when my 3-year-old made friends with the 3-year-old, well, he was 4, he didn't know how to describe him. He'd come home and say, well, I was playing with the boy with the brown eyes and the blue T-shirt. And
Yes.
he didn't use his skin color as the original one difference. And I always thought that was the really coolest thing. And now my younger son, who's only 7, and now this other boy is 13, he does the same thing. And he just, when the name escapes him, he's like, and he won't say the boy with the dark skin or anything like that. And I love that. But
See, and I wouldn't mind being described by my skin color. I don't mind at all.
But I like that it's not the one thing.
Right. Because that's my friend.
Yes.
That's the first thing.
Right.
But part of how we normalize is to have the conversations, because we usually don't discuss the things that are taboo.
Okay.
And so the more we talk about it, the person with the brown eyes, or the person with the caramel skin, or the person with the strawberry blonde curls, these are all aspects of image bearing that we all have. And it's unique, and it's beautiful, and it's not sin.
Right.
So even if your babies did say, oh, the boy with the dark skin, oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because we do. Right.
Right. Yeah, I like that it's not the only thing they know.
Right. Or it's
just
not
a
like
person.
shock gasp.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
Right. So we're going to have to wrap up here. And I know we could talk all day, but I like the idea of starting small, and that if we're going to work through or make our country better or make the church look more like Jesus, that it's going to start with you and me, and with me and another friend or a small group, and we have to be intentional, I think.
Yes.
And would you
Jesus
say
was intentional.
Both sides?
Both sides. I think our audience is probably primarily white.
Maybe.
For now. And I think that we need to model Jesus, and Jesus is a pursuer. And he didn't pursue the comfort. He didn't pursue the ease. He didn't come in a rich family. He didn't come in a position of power. And so if Jesus is a person who came to seek and save and scraped the margins and wanted to go make sure the entire world was included in that salvation, then this is how we operate. This is how we as his followers operate as well. And starting small is just like what Jesus did, because it's not like he didn't bring in the 3,000 at Pentecost. He started with the 12.
Yeah.
And the 12 is what multiplied. We don't need to worry about numbers. We just need to worry about being faithful where we are,
Right.
with our spheres of influence.
Like the parable of the talents.
Like the parable of the talents, Kelley.
Yeah.
All right, so let me close this up here. We talked about practical resources, and we are going to have a list for you on the website. So be sure to go to the website and download. There'll probably be, organizations you can turn to, books you can read, videos you can watch, that sort of thing. So we encourage you to go to that and contact the ministry if you want to speak further about this issue or ask questions and seek more resources or counsel. So thank you, Sharifa, for joining
Kelley.
us.
It was a pleasure.
Really good. So, and just amazing.
Thanks for listening to the Beyond Ordinary Women podcast. You can find more podcasts and information about women in leadership by going to beyondordinarywomen.org. This podcast was produced by Beyond Ordinary Women Ministries. Our production team includes Evelyn Babcock, Kay Daigle, Kay Halligan, Deborah Herring, Sharifa Stevens, and John Sparks. Theme music, Back in Stride by Don Miller, used by courtesy of Christine Miller.